Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Tony Plays The Binding of Isaac. Hope everyone's doing good, everyone's chilling, going about their day nice and lovely. You know how it is, you know how it be, and whatnot. Hope you guys are doing well. I did not mean to open that. Beast. It looks like Beast. I could have sworn we'd done Beast on this character. You know what? Don't matter. Anyways, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are loving your day and whatnot, and you know, all is good. I'm doing pretty okay myself. I have honestly just a little tired. Nothing too crazy. Oh! Whoopsie, I don't know why I owed like that. Good news, kind of. Good news for me, at least. Off work early. Had to go to the doctor's office. Unfortunate, but you know, I recently, while I was in San Diego, I had like a issue come up with my eye. I'm pretty sure I've gone about it before. I do have certain issues with my left eye, and one such issue came up while I was at Comic-Con in... what's the word I'm thinking of? I didn't lose vision in the eye or something, but it got like mad irritated. And I had like a bump on my eye, so I had to go to... I had to get a doctor prescribe me some eye drops to help out with that. Just had a follow-up today. Everything's good, don't worry. I'm not, hopefully, not losing my eyesight for at least a while. But I'm chilling, as they say. I'm chilling, I'm doing, honestly, positively, pretty okay, pretty dandy. Especially considering I got some time off work, which is great. You know what I mean? Personally, I don't know. Nothing against work or whatever, but sometimes I just prefer the days off, man. I'm gonna be real with you. Sometimes I just prefer the days off. Unfortunately, it's not like this is like a full day off sort of deal. I still had to clock in, but I early shift type beat, you know what I mean? Anyways, all of that aside, it was fun. It was nice to be able to step out, especially considering nothing is wrong with me and that my eye is fine, eye pressure is fine and all that. Just need to continue taking the drops for a couple of weeks or whatever, apparently. And then everything will be fine. I'll be able to go back into my OG daily dose of medication on eye drop, aka. It's a whole ordeal, man, honestly. It's crazy. I could tell y'all all about it, and I have before, but I could probably do it again. But just the entire ideal eye situation, man, it's just... It's wicked, you know what I mean? For lack of a better term, that's honestly not even for lack of a better term, that's just truly how I feel. It's just overall just a wicked tale of just crazy shit that could happen to a human, you know what I mean? Anyways, that aside though, the entire wicked tale aside, I'm doing pretty solid. I'm just, honestly, I really feel like I did this before, you know what I mean? I feel like I've already done, or maybe it was regular keeper, I don't know. I don't even know anymore, man. Anyways, tainted, regular, wait, no, this is regular. Maybe it was tainted keeper. I don't know. I'm not gonna fret too much over it. I'm alright, you know. Honestly, just happy to be able to play a character that I find fun. I'm gonna be so real with you. In recent memory, not many characters I really deem as like, oh, this is a really fun play. Especially if we're going tainted characters, oh my god, man. Tainted characters can be some assholes sometimes. That aside though, you know. Oh, I did have one thing I wanted to speak on. Just kind of yap about, because it's something I'm pretty excited about. A while back, someone did leave a comment mentioning how they, you know, I was yapping about COD Zombies, or COD BO6 and whatnot. They were talking about, oh, you know, I think gameplay wise and stuff like that, BO6 is alright, you know, it's not horrible as people say, but I just don't support the whole AI usage thing that they got going on. Honestly, I can agree. I can very much agree and be like, yeah, no, that shit sucks. That shit is trash. And honestly, I'm sorry if y'all heard that. I just heard a police car do the little whoop 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 thing because my window's open. But bro, what's the word I'm thinking of? Oh my god, man. My freaking I don't know what's going on. Look, I enjoy COD Zombies. This is well known. This is not like news to people, to individuals out there, that Tony is a fan of Call of Duty Zombies. He very much enjoys the stuff. He actually is one of the few individuals out there that keeps up with modern Call of Duty, for better or for worse. That is what I do, because I like the zombies aspect specifically. But I have been seeing a lot of not just posts but videos, and honestly, it's low-key starting to change my perspective. I'm gonna be so real with you. One cool fact slash thing, Battlefield 6, I believe, got a trailer recently. Haven't seen it myself, but I've been seeing, apparently people have just gotten in with gameplay. Like, there just is Battlefield 6 gameplay, which I thought was kind of crazy, because the announcement of Battlefield 6 feels like it came out of nowhere. So if they're announcing Battlefield 6 and then we got gameplay like going out, like, this game is pretty far along in development, right? I'm not tripping. That's how that kind of how that works. One, I thought that was pretty cool. I'm actually a really huge Battlefield fan. Might not believe it. And I might not believe it. The guy who enjoys his Call of Duty slop, kind of somewhat enjoys Battlefield. I have been a Battlefield enjoyer for shit, couple years now, honestly, man. Since I want to say middle school. I remember back in middle school, I used to play Battlefield 4 specifically with a friend of mine, because we used to watch the Russian Badger play that game. You know, I think the Russian Badger still had, not his niche, but like, he's still kind of like, what's the word I'm thinking of? You know what I mean? Where it's like, people be like, oh, hey, it's the Russian Badger. You know, I know that guy. That kind of deal. I don't know if he's like super uber popular. I don't know. I haven't really kept up with him like that to a degree. But there's one thing I remember for sure. I remember all the time, was that he was huge into Battlefield, man. The Russian Badger was huge into Battlefield. I used to watch him cover Battlefield 4 and Hardline. He goated, honestly. Goated content creator. As of recent, I'm gonna be real with y'all, I don't know. I just, like with most things, as you grow up, you kind of fall out or move on or whatever. I don't think his content's bad by any stretch of the word. It's just, I don't know, I lost interest in watching it, that sort of deal. But I used to watch bro do all of his, what's it called? I used to watch bro make all his videos on the absolute goated game that is Battlefield 4. And because of that, I got into Battlefield 4 with my friend. Used to play that shit all the time, man. I think I reached like level... I was close to 100. I was close to getting that stupid knife with the bipod. You know? I knew ball, you know what I mean? That's all I'm trying to say. As I was familiar with the game, I was there when people were figuring out how to do that crazy bow shit in order to get the bow. If you had Battlefield 4 like the premium edition, you know? I was there watching people figure that out. People smarter than me figure that out. Wow. I never got to be able to because I didn't have freemium, because I was just like a broke middle schooler. So I never went for it. You feel me? That sort of deal. But dang nabbit, I gotta say, bro, it was sick to watch and it was a very fun game to play. Gotta be one of my favorite games, maybe of all time. Honestly, I think Battlefield 4 might be one of my favorite games of all time, just off of multiplayer experience alone. You know, I'm gonna be so real with you. Off of, whoopsie, I had a burp. Off of just pure multiplayer alone, that might be peak game. Not peak game, but damn good. And then, what's the word I'm thinking of? I don't know. Battlefield 5 came out. Or no, Battlefield 1 came out. I thought it was cool. Thought it was pretty fun. People seem to have problems with it or whatever. I don't know, man. There's a whole, not shtick, but there's an entire like thing going on with some of those games. I remember is just people just hate women. That's kind of all I remember really coming out of that, is that people really do not like women. And even more Battlefield fans, I believe, not even just people, Battlefield fans, quote unquote, do not like women, and they do not like people of color. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Because I'm gonna be so real with you. What the hell? Why my phone GPS signal lost me, bro? I'm already home. It's just insane. Because I remember seeing the discourse around the new Battlefield game, and it's like, oh, it's not realistic, we got women in it. And it's like, bro, is that, who cares? You know? Who gives a damn? Is what I'm trying to say. It's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, game came out. Battlefield 1 came out. I thought it was cool. It's alright. Battlefield 5 came out. I thought it was cool. It's alright. To me, personally, I actually like Battlefield more in its modern sort of era, because I've noticed you at least get more, you know, you get access to way more weapons. You play Battlefield 4, brother, each class got like its own lineage of weapons, and then there's the universal weapons like the shotguns, the DMRs, and the carbines that all each have their own lineage, you know what I mean? So you got 4 classes, with each class having like 10 guns. And then, well, let's see, let's see. I was a very heavy recon player, so let's see if I remember it. You start off with the, not JNG, you start off with some random, the CSL or whatever. Alright, with that active, you get the Scout Elite, that's 2. After that, you get the M40, that's 3. No, you get the M42, Scout Elite 3, I'm pretty sure. After that, you get the JNG 4? Maybe? SV98 5. There's like another bullpup one, the 338 6, the M98B7, the SR61 8. I believe I might be missing some weapons, but just base game, off base game, off rip, base game, off rip, whatever. You know, I just named like 8 different guns, and I could still be missing some. I just named like 8 guns off rip. All right. Imagine each class had 8 guns. That's 4 classes times 8. That's 32 different guns off of their base default. Then each class also had the universal access to the universal, which there were 3 of. let's assume 8 in each on that aspect. You could round that out to like around what? 24 plus 32. That is, I feel so stupid. That's 56, correct? 56. I was gonna say 65, and then I was like, no, that don't sound right. No, that sounds stupid. 56, all right? Off of base weapons alone. Some classes do have access to more, by the way. Off of just the base rip weapons alone. All right? 65, bro. 56 different weapons. And then you had the pistols. And then each class had their own cool utilities and stuff. You know what I mean? It was sick, bro. Alright? I love the fact that those old games, not those old games, but like, you know, Battlefield 4 had as many weapons as it did, because in my opinion, it made it cool to kind of use each one, you know, on your own. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, this, that. You know, it's really wicked, in my opinion. And then you move on and go to, what's it called? Then you move on and go to like Battlefield 1, and it's like, recon class, bro, you got 3 weapons. I don't even know if that's true. I could just be lying. Especially Battlefield 2042 though, I think in 2042 you unironically have access to that little. If you're a recon in 2042, brother, you got 4 snipers to unlock. Like, come on, man, you know what I mean? What are we doing? What are we doing? It's annoying. It's just, I love Battlefield 4. I love how much content there was in Battlefield 4. I've noticed a lot of my favorite games are the ones where they have a shit ton of content in it. Who would have guessed content is cool sometimes? Get away from me! Oh my god. Thought I was gonna die, man. But, you know, that aside, all that aside. Fun game, man. Alright, it's a fun game. And I am hoping that the new game out is going to be very good. I'm hoping Battlefield 6 is going to be very good. I'm hoping I'll be able to show Battlefield 6 to my grandkids one day and be like, see, this is a real game. You know what I mean? Or maybe it'll be mid. Maybe it'll be garbage. Oh, I got so not caught off guard, but I got so talking about complete other things I forgot to even mention what I originally wanted to bring up, and that was in a similar vein to that though. You know, I'm pretty sure people now have kind of got their whole fatigue with Call of Duty. I don't support the whole AI shit going on with that game, and it honestly annoyed the hell out of me. The Tomb annoys the hell out of me as a zombies map because I don't believe AI was an issue with the Tomb, but because of just that whole, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Think about the workers, you know what I mean? The people that gotta work on it. Even though they needed a what's it called? There was no voice acting on that map because of strikes, and they just decided, fuck it. You know, who cares? We're just gonna move on with it. I think people have, I haven't dove too deep into it, but replacing the voice actress of one of the most recognizable characters in Zombies, to a Zombies fan, being Samantha Maxis, after she has voiced Samantha for so many years, that's like, you know, what are we doing? What are we doing, brother? You feel me? It's like, come on, bro. What's the dealio? That's what I'm trying to figure out, is what's the dealio, little bro? Because you're not just gonna replace Samantha Maxis. Like, come on, dog. That's Samantha Maxis, an integral part to the zombie story for many years. And you bring her back in the Dark Ether storyline, and then you just hit her with the sorry, I don't want to play with you anymore, you know what I mean? We got a new VA to take over. It's just potentially AI, I don't know. It just sucks, bro. It just sucks. As a Samantha Maxis fan, you know what I mean? As a fan of the character, it just sucks to see the VA go. But to get into that, I don't really care too much about realism in my games, you know what I mean? I think I might have gone on about this before. I don't think it's the first time Tony's ranted about, oh, realism in video games or whatever. But there is this, I don't even know what to call it. Shift might not be the right word. There's this thing, all right, with the new Call of Duty game. You guys might have seen it, might have heard about it, not sure, but they've been pretty much adding so many new skins to the game, you know what I mean? I saw a message or a tweet that I kind of low-key believed was true, and that is, it feels like all the Call of Duty collabs that we've been getting are kind of just like rejected Fortnite collabs, you know what I mean? And Exhibit A and B low-key strike me right here. With one, Fortnite has a collab with Family Guy. Crazy sentence to kind of like just drop on someone. It's like, you know, the Peter Griffins in Fortnite. But two, it's not just Peter Griffin. I think they're, I don't know if it's leaks actually, never mind. I could be speaking on leaks, but Peter Griffin in Fortnite. Then a year later or so, American Dad in Black Ops 6. Terminator in Black Ops 6. The most recent one that has definitely caused up the controversy because there is a clip of it that just kind of really puts into perspective how freaking baffling it all truly is Beavis and Butthead in Call of Duty. Beavis and Butthead, the freaking, you know, we'll be talking about the penis, that guy, that funny show. Cornholio, you know what I mean? They got them in Call of Duty, and there is this very one, I think it's an image kind of used in against Call of Duty of the limited time game mode for, I believe it was the starting room challenge. There's a starting room limited time game mode that just kind of showed Beavis and both Beavis and Butthead, and it just kind of got people like, man, what am I looking at? You know what I mean? It just kind of got people like, man, what is this? This sucks. This is genuinely garbage. Because what happened to the game? You know what I mean? What happened to the game I love? Why do we got Beavis and Butthead in Call of Duty as like playable characters running around just shooting people in Warzone and shit like that? Or potentially COD Zombies. And then there was this other clip that came out that this clip I think is low-key one of the funniest clips out, bro. And it is this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle skin, all right? He pulls up on a Terminator skin, grabs the Terminator skin and, like, you know, gets him in a chokehold or whatever, because you can do that in Call of Duty. You like you're using him as a body shield, and then his friend executions the Terminator, and what he does is his friend is Cornholio, and he like slaps and kicks him, and he dies. And it's very funny to kind of see, because you're like, what the hell am I looking at? You know what I mean? It's funny because you look at it and you're like, what is this, bro? But then you kind of look back on it a little more. At least I've looked back on it a little more. And I'm not gonna lie, I find that shit mad funny. I think it's hilarious. But then you also kind of get that feeling of like, what has this game become? You know what I mean? You kind of get that weird feeling of like, what has this game become, bro? It's just like, I don't know, you know what I mean, man? It just kind of got me like, I don't know, bro. What am I watching? What game am I playing right now? Because this is making no sense to me. I don't know, man. You feel me? That's all I pretty much gotta say. I don't know, man. It's funny to look at and be like, haha, what the hell is this? But it's also kind of like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? It's funny to look at and be like, this is really funny. Like, this is so goofy, this is so dumb. But then it kind of got me wondering, like, what the fuck is going on in zombies, bro? I'm not gonna lie. And not even zombies, just Call of Duty as a whole. What's going on with Call of Duty as a whole? Like, bro. Like, it just ain't there, you know what I mean? It ain't there, bro. The game can't take itself seriously for the sake of having collaborations and stuff like that. I don't think this is controversial by any stretch of the word. I'm pretty sure you will find at least a couple individuals out there that share my exact opinion on this. But I'm not even joking. I'm not a Fortnite hater. You know, I actually kind of like Fortnite. I think it's a fun battle royale game. My remote DC'd, that's interesting. Except no, it didn't. It's literally on as I speak. What in the world? Interesting. You might find this surprising. But I'm actually a Fortnite fan. I don't think it is God's greatest creation. However, I don't think that it is the spawn of Satan that many people like to have you believe. You know what I mean? Like that whole Reddit era of hating on Fortnite sort of deal. I am not that. I do not hate on Fortnite because it is, you know what I mean? Popular game bad sort of deal. That's not my shtick. But what I do find actual form of criticism I have against this game, all right, is I feel like the whole deal with Fortnite kind of getting its popularity, a lot of its popularity, from collaboration events they have and stuff like that. It has low-key, I don't want to be that guy. It's like, it's ruined gaming, but it has I'm gonna be real with you. I think it has low-key ruined a lot of game stuff. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be so real. Genuine, honest opinion. I think the whole deal with every single game trying to do collabs of some sort like that, with like major brands and stuff, outlet sort of deal, has low-key kind of ruined the game. Or the gaming sphere of like live service and something original, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be so real with you. Now, before you go on and be like, now Tony, don't you know you're a loser for thinking that or something like that, let me explain my side, you know? Before Tony strawmans himself and is like, I didn't know you were such like the West is Fallen guy, Tony. I'm not. I'm just yapping right now, all right? This is just a thought exercise in yap, all right? What I'm about to do here is a thought exercise in yapping. But pretty much, it kind of just seems like it's kind of ruined any like not artistic sense, but what's the word I'm thinking of? It feels like a lot of games are obsessed with just trying to have their whole shtick, their whole thing be like, hey guys, look at this thing. A, do you either A, remember this, or B, hey look, this popular thing, we have a collaboration with it, so you can spend your money on it. Might be thinking, Tony, what the hell are you talking about? One, why does Call of Duty have a Beavis and Butthead collab? You know what I mean? Why does Call of Duty have Beavis and Butthead skins? That's definitely like one I can think of off rip. Two, American Dad skins, you know? Why? For what purpose? Three, why what's up with Fortnite having at least like 7 Star Wars collabs? You know what I mean, bro? I'm not even joking. The only time that I truly see collabs that aren't just popular media out there is, I don't want to be this guy either. I don't want to be this the West is Fallen guy, but Japanese games where they will collab with other games. You know what I mean? Might be thinking, Tony, what do you mean? We got Joker Persona. We have Ichi Nuts from Like a Dragon. Ichiban, for anyone. You know, we got Ichiban from Yakuza Like a Dragon. Joker Persona. Sonic, all in literally one game, and it's the new Sonic racing game. Hatsune Miku. Alright, Hatsune Miku in the new Sonic racing game. You know what I mean? This one, I will not co-sign because I do not play these games, but freaking Stellar Blade, I have not touched Stellar Blade, but I believe they have a Nier Automata collab. If I am correct, I believe Stellar Blade has like an entire Nier thing with it. You know, kind of crazy to think about. Monster Hunter, it specifically Capcom, loves to collab / make events in their games, specifically Monster Hunter, with their own things. You know what I mean? We got Monster Hunter Akuma. In World, we have Dante and what's it called? What's the word I'm thinking of, man? Oh my god, what, Resident Evil, how can I forget? Resident Evil in Monster Hunter World, you know what I mean? You got all these crazy collabs between Capcom's like own IPs that they love. And not only that, in the World you had a Witcher collab, you know what I mean? You had literal Geralt of Rivera or whatever, Riviera, whatever his name is. I don't actually care, truth be told. But you have Geralt, you know, a Witcher collab. You got all these cool video games collabing and stuff like that. And then in Fortnite, you just got skin, custom skin. It's just a character from a game, you know? Squid Game. You got freaking John Squid Game, bro, in Fortnite. I will give Mortal Kombat a little bit of a pass, alright? I'm not gonna lie. I will give Mortal Kombat a little bit of a pass on this one, okay? And that is, I think they had it goated, then they just kind of started doing whatever the hell they wanted, you know what I mean? Might be thinking, what are you talking about, Tony? Used to have, what's it called? Alien, or was it Alien, or was that one of the more recent ones? Freaking Leatherface and Jason Voorhees. Leatherface and Jason Voorhees, bro. Alright? In the same game, I'm pretty sure. You know, I like how, what's it called? Mortal Kombat has kind of become, hey, we'll take on all the cool horror characters and horror media that other things won't usually pick up because all the cool, good horror shit is rated R or rated M, and we can't take on that collab. Like, you know. But Mortal Kombat sure can, because they get to show off literal, like, dismemberment and stuff. So, oh, what the hell happened there? And then all of a sudden, I don't know why, in Mortal Kombat 1, I'm just not even entirely sure why. Mortal Kombat 1's whole thing was, look guys, it's Homelander, look, it's Omni-Man, you know, it's like, what? What is it, T-2000 or whatever, from Terminator 2? You know? And it's like, what? Kind of like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? That's kind of the thought process I got going on in my brain. It's like, what are we doing, brother? You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't hate on, I'm not like negative Nancy, I hate everything, you know what I mean? You guys know me. I'm actually pretty like anti sort of hating shit. I try to always, what's the word I'm thinking of? See the brighter side or be positive about this sort of thing. But it's just one thing I've noticed, you know what I mean? This is just one thing that I myself have noticed, and it's low-key kind of like, what's the dealio? You know what I mean? It is low-key like, what's the dealio with that? What is the dealio with Fortnite taking on every piece of media? Which, you know, that's Fortnite's whole deal. That's Fortnite's whole deal. Then Call of Duty just had to go and copy their whole flow. You know what I mean? Oh, dude. Hold on. I actually thought of another game that a Western studio, I'm pretty sure. EA is Western, right? Freaking with Respawn with Apex. They actually had a Final Fantasy collab. I vividly remember that because they gave I forgot bro's name. They gave him the Cloud skin. Damn it, that was a battery. Please don't die, Tony. Come on, I could have dodged that. I could not have dodged that, bro. Come on. Nice, nice. All right. Just. And then Call of Duty had to go bite the whole flow and like make it bad, you know what I mean? Call of Duty had to go bite the entire flow of Fortnite and be like, hey guys, we can do collabs too, and then it was just all garbage, you know what I mean? All their collabs, I'm not gonna lie, I think they suck. I don't think, I couldn't name off the top of my dome piece a single Call of Duty collab that I was like, man, this shit is gas. You know, why are the Ninja Turtles in Call of Duty? Did I say Fortnite? Why are the Ninja Turtles in Call of Duty? Why are Beavis and Butthead in Call of Duty? Why is American Dad Stan and Roger in Call of Duty? You know what I mean? It just kind of got me like, what are we doing, bro? Little bro, what's going on? What are we doing? I'm just a little baffled, is what I'm trying to say. You feel me? I'm just a little baffled at it. Especially considering, like I said, how when Fortnite does it, it is like insanely popular and like people actually kind of give a damn about it. Whereas when Call of Duty kind of got collabs, it's like, oh, you know, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really know who's out here like, oh yes, I need to buy that Nicki Minaj skin. You know what I mean? Because like, what Nicki Minaj? What are we doing? You feel me? Lil bro, what are these collabs? Oh, don't die, Tony. I cannot pop this, bro, because I can't grab it, man. It's so cringe. As long as he dies, that's all I really care about, question mark? I think. Just, I don't know, man. Call of Duty needs to get it together, low-key, bro. And I'm not that kind of guy that's like, trust me, if you know me, like you hear how I talk about COD, I'm definitely not the kind of guy that's like, old COD was better, everything new is garbage. But this is the one gripe I have with that new shit, bro. Freaking, anyways, want to thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good day and or good night, depending on the time reviewing this. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.